Hi Taurus, welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. I'm Eleanor and this is your third week of February pick a card reading. So we are talking all about this month's energy, the Ten of Swords that came out in your 2020 video that's linked below, and the weekly energy, Surrender to Your Soul's Path, and that came out in your monthly, that's linked below. Not everything here is going to resonate, but that's why I have personal readings, so my Etsy page to get an email one, that's linked below. Let's see, okay, but go ahead and click like at any time if you are hearing something that's going to help you on your path. So these are talking about, last week with our Ten of Swords, we had surrender to setting limits. And so I'm curious if you would tell me in the comments what sorts of limits and boundaries that you're setting so you can move forward on the soul's path this week. I'm using Soul's Journey Oracle cards and the Linestrider Tarot. And I have stack 1, 2, and 3. They're time stamped below, so we can get started. Stack 1, you have 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and Acceptance. So with Soul's Journey, this feels like, or Soul's Path, I'm sorry, it feels like a much more spiritual journey than you've been on so far. There's a sense of where, so I'm seeing a lot of this purple and this pink, and that's kind of bringing me up to the higher meanings around the higher chakras and connecting with the divine and third eye and crown chakra and all that, leveling up into higher states of consciousness. So I feel like there's a sense to where you've done a lot of beautifying of your environment and beautifying of yourself, and that there's been a lot of effort put into material pursuits, and that this has been something you've really enjoyed and that you've been really good at and successful at, and that you have beauty around you and success around you, wealth in areas of health. But there's a sense now to where you're surrendering to, there's been a trying to fit in of sorts, and a trying to figure out where you fit and what your place is, and trying to force it almost to a sense. And now this acceptance, it feels like you figured out that trying to be a square peg in a round hole, or whatever that is not working, and that you are deciding to move onto this path of finding the road that was specifically designed for you, and that that you're going to be letting go of the more letting go of the more material pursuits, letting go of trying to control situations, trying to fit in with others where maybe it might not be the situation for you, trying to be recognized for certain things externally, and feeling that there is a call that's unique to you, that's special to you, that is of a more spiritual nature, and that may be the direction that you're moving this week. All right, Taurus, stack 2, you have 4 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and Service. So with 9 of Swords, really talking about worry and anxiety, being really up in your own head. It's up in your head about things that you can't control. So service, acts of service, is something that really does help you get outside of yourself, and it helps to, serving others does feel good. And when you are wrapped up in dead-end thinking, spiral thinking, it can be hard to feel like you have anything to offer. But I'm hearing that it does feel, it's going to feel surprisingly good to serve, to get out of yourself, and that there's going to be some healing that you find in that, in serving others, and that giving, it feels good to give without expectation of anything in return. But this 4 of Swords, it does call up a reminder that you do have to take care of yourself first. If you aren't taking care of yourself, then you won't be able to serve, and that is where resentment comes in, where you feel like you're putting everyone else before you, and then it doesn't, this ability to heal and this ability to feel good with service, that gets turned upside down. So make sure you're taking care of yourself and filling your cup, and then when you are full, then you are able to go forth and take care of others. So if you're, it's the whole thing where the mask comes down in the airplane and you put it on yourself first before you do anyone. I'm sure you've heard it. So that's what you need to do. You make sure you're doing your self-care, but not to the point where you just close off and close in and say, I'm only doing this, I'm only taking care of myself, and everyone else can go screw themselves. You're filling yourself up to where you feel strong, and then step outside yourself and try to pour into others and to give to others, and you will be shocked at how good that feels this week. All right, Taurus, stack 3, 5 of Swords, Death in reverse, Honesty. Honesty in this deck is all about the honesty within yourself, the integrity in your self-talk, the way you don't hold anything back from yourself, total transparency between you and you. So with Death in reverse, I'm wondering what it is that's holding you back from this new beginning. There's something that has to go, something old that has to be shed, and something new trying to be given birth to. And I'm feeling so much resistance. The Death in reverse is a heavy, resistant energy. So I want you to consider what they're trying to ask you. So surrender to your soul's path being the week's energy, you may be having some pushback around that. The question for you this week is, what is that costing you? This 5 of Swords is talking about needing to be right, or victories that aren't worth what they cost you. So it's like, yay, but so the safety that you get from not moving forward, that you feel in stasis, in stagnation, whatever it is, that protection that is the gain, what is the cost? That's your question. All right, Taurus, talk to you next week. Thank you.